Hey guys, welcome back for another video. Let's go ahead and look into some of these undead heroes here. We will be getting 3 new undead hero, and we already have the other 2. If you haven't noticed, one of them is Trapedon. You can see that green skull at the top right there that indicates that he's an undead hero. Of course, he's a DPS guy, and we have Ixion, which is the other tanker, and he is also the other undead hero as well. And you click on hero preview stat in case you want to take a look at it. He's a fighter, but he is also a pretty good tanker as well. The main lady that we're going to look at here is Moira. She is the new hero, and she is a magical fighter as well. I don't think she has as much HP health-wise like Ixion, but she's okay for tanking a long period of time, but short period of time she will be alright. And also, depending on what rune you will put on her, it can make her tanky. And the reason I said that is, if you look at the synergy, Underworld synergy, it basically grants all undead heroes 8% life steal, and they are stackable. So you have 5 of them on the field at the same time, that's 50%. I mean, my math is way off. 40% of life steal for each one of them. And that can become pretty handy in battles. If you, on top of that, you use like lifesteal rune on top of it, that might make these fighters a little tough to kill. So, not a bad choice to look into that. But anyway, let's look at her abilities and see if she's worth getting. Her first ability, she will deal magical damage to targets and the surrounding enemy. Not a whole lot, because this is a mass attack, and they want to keep it so that it's not too OP, so you're not going to see a huge damage coming out from that one. However, she will also curse them for 15 seconds, and that means while they the enemy team, the energy will stop generating completely, so you cannot activate your abilities because you're not generating any sort of energy for 5 seconds. Not a long period of time, but just enough to be deadly. So far that ability is pretty good. Her second one basically give us, the first attack will knock off enemies' magical defense by 237. By the time you get that to level 50, it looks like it's increasing by 1 per level, so you add 50 on top of that, you're looking at almost 300, 290 around there, and it will last for 10 seconds. So if you put like Trapedon, for example, right behind her, you can actually cause some serious damage to magical tankers. So that's something to consider, but given that Trapedon will have to be a DPS hero. And then her third ability says, following 5 basic attack, the next attack grants 500-ish basic attack damage until the end of battle. That's pretty sick. That's a lot of basic attack damage following 5 basic attacks. However, I don't know, it didn't say stackable, it didn't say non-stackable. I don't know what the deal is on this. We're gonna have to test it out and see. I mean, if it's stackable, she'd be pretty dang OP, and she's probably gonna get a nerf pretty quick. So I think she is one of those heroes that might get a nerf just because of this ability here, and her first ability too, that basically stopped the curse for 15 seconds, and they cannot generate any sort of energy for 5 seconds. If you use her along with like Sybil, which is also another hero that knocks out energy generations, and you use her with other, basically there's a couple combos that you can use her with that make her useful in battle and can nerf the enemy's team pretty well. For example, you can use her with this lady here. She generates a heck lot of energy, and she allows you to proc pretty quick when you use your ability pretty fast with a very low cooldown. And then let's see other hero that she can be useful with. You can use her with this guy over here too. This guy generates a ton of shield for whoever's in front of him. Makes it pretty dang hard to kill whoever's the one that's tanking. So he can go right behind her and give her basically more of a shield. Makes her harder to kill. But then again, it's up to you guys. I mean, the nice part about this game is that you can do whatever combo you like, and some people found very sick combo, and they are tough to beat, even though they are very low power. Alright, so let's go on to the next and the last ability here. It says up on death. I'm not a big fan of up on death, because every time I see something that's up on death, it basically means your hero is gonna die, and when your hero is gonna die, the battle's already kind of sketchy at this point. You're probably not gonna win. Chances are you're not gonna win. Any ability that's up on death is kind of useless to me, in my opinion. She deals X amount of magical damage and cause mortal wound to the enemy for 100%, which is the enemy, only one enemy with the lowest health. And then the last thing is, I don't have it on here, but her ice and fire ability. Her ice, when an enemy falls, she gains 20% lifesteal for 15 seconds. It's stackable, so that means if multiple enemies fall, she'd be pretty much impossible to kill because of all those 20% on top of 20% on top of 20%. However, honestly, if your team is already killing the other team and the enemies are falling left and right, what's the point of having this skill? It's kind of useless. It might give you that low edge, but then again, chances are you're gonna win anyway. And then her fire skill basically said Unholy Majesty. What is it? Yeah, that's basically refers back to her first ability. Grants her 25% basic attack speed for 10 seconds and it purchases immune. That one might be more useful because when she first starts, you want to put the damage out there for her, because if you look at her second ability here, third ability, following 5 basic attack, her next attack grants 500 basic attack damage. If you use that along with Unholy Majesty, that will give you basically maximize her abilities to the best of it can possibly be. With that being said, guys, I think she's definitely worth getting. I'm sure somebody's gonna find some I can see she's very useful in a lot of situations, so it's definitely worth getting. Let's go to the token shop here, and of course, last thing, what I think is worth getting, of course, if you're gonna go for the undead hero, definitely get the relics, definitely get her relics. The downside of this game, if we don't have enough astral relics to make any of these legendary heroes useful, it takes a long time before it can happen. But just to kind of go over a few things here, her relics are worth getting, gold keys are worth getting, and runes are worth getting. Everything else in here is actually not going to be worth getting, and the reason is gold mana you can farm for them during the event, so there's no point of wasting your token on them. Do not get relics on truth because you also can farm for them in the dungeon, so no point of getting that. And gold key is, gold key now is I think costs a little bit more than it should be. I believe back then it's a little cheaper. I feel like the price kind of creeping up a little bit during every event. But gold key is also a good one to go after. Astral relic, troop, astral relic, either one of those, not worth spending your token on, in my opinion. So, and that is it for this video, guys. Oh yeah, also one last thing, undead event promotion. For those of you who spend a lot of money, this is where you're gonna get some. This is where it's gonna pay out, and you get a massive amount of stuff. I mean, you have to, if you purchase 80k gems, which is that's a few $100 easily, and you will get all these good stuff in there. And that's definitely gonna help you level up some of your heroes to 5 stars. Trust me, there are people who buys all this. And of course, if you spend 100k gems, you can get the mega spell of Undeath Curse. Let's go ahead and look at that, see if it's actually worth getting. A strong curse, all enemies for 5 seconds. While affected, all enemies will take 6.5k true damage, ignores defense every second. That is basically a version of Tengu's ability, and that's actually very good. True damage will actually destroys anybody that's in the back line. Those heroes that are DPS heroes that don't have a lot of HP, they will get destroyed pretty quick. So yeah, that's a great spell. However, it will cost you 100 gems. It doesn't come easy. Anyway, guys, that is it for this video. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.